Hi everyone, it's me Therese, and I'm going to be doing a learning languages course, tutorial, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to post them on Facebook, YouTube. Don't be afraid to like the video, smash the like button. If you're on YouTube, just follow me on YouTube by subscribing to the channel and then pressing the bell for more notifications. So you'll be notified when I make more videos. Thank you, and enjoy. Hello everyone, my name is Torres Stewart, and welcome to my Spanish 101 class. Lesson 1 will be on greetings. If you feel the need to stop the video at any time, you can, so that you can practice the words as many times as you like. Alright, let's get to it. What you will learn in my class today. You will learn beginner greetings, you will learn to ask questions about someone or to someone, and you will learn to introduce yourself. Greetings. Hola. Pronounced O, la. It is the Spanish word for hello. Adios. Adios. Goodbye in Spanish. Ciao. Pronounced ciao, like the way some people say like food. In English, it is goodbye in Spanish. Buenos dias. Buenos dias. When you say this word, which is the Spanish word for good morning, or the Spanish phrase for good morning, you want to pronounce the first word buenos with a W next to a B when you say it. So it's buenos. And then the second word, dias, which means day actually in Spanish, or days in Spanish, you want to pronounce it dias. Like there's two E's next to the D, and then the last part, just the A and the S. So again, it is buenos dias, and it is the Spanish word for good morning. Buenas tardes. When you say this word, which is the Spanish phrase for good afternoon, you want to say, or the Spanish phrase for good day, you want to say, again, the word buenas. This time it has an A instead of an O. You want to pronounce buenas with a W next to the B. So you get the boy sound. And then when you say the second part of the word, or the second half, you say nas. So it's buenas. When you say the second word, you say tar, as in like tar, like the black stuff that can happen if someone melts their tires or something like that. You say tar. And des is the second half of the word. So tardes. Together it would sound like buenas tardes. Tardes. I know I have the like I'm rolling the R or something like that, but once you say the second word tardes, once you say it fast enough, it kind of does it on its own. So again, the phrase is buenas tardes, which means good afternoon in Spanish. Buenas noches. And again, we have the phrase that starts with buenas, which is the BW sound. We want bue, and then the nas for the first word. And the second word kind of sounds like nachos, like, the chips with the cheese. But instead of there being an A next to the N, it's an O. Instead of there being an A next to the H and the S, it's an E instead. So you get noches. So it's not nachos, it's noches. When you say it together, it sounds like buenas noches, which is the Spanish phrase for good night. ¿Cómo estás? Pronounce como estás. This is the Spanish phrase for how are you. The first word you pronounce as you see the letters here. Co, C-O-H. Mo, M-O-H. That's the first word, como. The second word is estás. You pronounce that as you see here. es, the first part of the word, and then stas, the second half of the word. So you get estas. Together, you get como estas. And again, it is how are you in Spanish, if you were to say this to a friend or an acquaintance or someone you know well. ¿Cómo está usted? This phrase is the Spanish phrase for how are you to a respected person or someone you are not familiar with. Again, como, C-O-H, is how you pronounce it, co, and then the second half of the word, mo. Again, we're back with estas, but this time there's no S next to it. This is because we're saying this phrase to someone who is a respected person, so we want to have respect for them. So we're going to say está, as we see here, es and sta. Es the first half, the second half, sta. The last word of the phrase is a little different and it looks like something we're not used to, but that's okay. We're going to pronounce it usted. Usted. The first half of the word, as you see here, like two O's with an H next to it, so you get the U sound, as in look, but without the L and with an H on the end instead of a K. U is the first half of the word, and sted. So this word is a little easier to pronounce for English speakers because you have the U here, and then the second half you have sted, so you just say it as you see it. Usted. Together, all three of these words are pronounced como está usted, which means, again, how are you, to a respected person or someone you're not familiar with in Spanish. ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas? This is the Spanish phrase for what is your name? Again, we have como, so we pronounce that como. Say it fast, it's como. The second word in the phrase is te, a T and an E. However, it's not pronounced T, it's pronounced te, like spelled here under it, T-A-Y, te. The last word is something, again, we may not be used to seeing for people who speak English. When you have two L's next to each other in a Spanish word, it makes the Y sound. So when we say this last word of the phrase, it's llamas. The first part again of the word is ya. We get the Y sound because there's two L's there. The second half of the word is going to be pronounced mas. Mas, M-A-S, so you're going to say that part as you see it. So you have the first part, that's ya, double L-A, and then the second half of the word is mas. Together it sounds like llamas, llamas. And this again is what is your name in Spanish. So we're going to say it all together. ¿Cómo te llamas? A little faster it sounds like ¿Cómo te llamas? And again, it is what is your name in Spanish. The next phrase is me llamo. This means my name is. When you say me llamo, then you say your name. In my case, I would say me llamo Torres. Me llamo Torres. So we're going to go break it down. The first word is pronounced me, like the month. It's spelled me, but you pronounce the E at the end with an A sound like you would in May. So, first word again is me. Second word, it's kind of like what we saw on the last slide. You get the two L's and an A next to it. This time it's just M-O at the end. So, we're going to pronounce that first half is ya with the two L's and the A, and the second half of the word we pronounced mo, M-O. So we kind of just say it as we see it. So the second word again is llamo, llamo, llamo. So we're going to say it all together. Me llamo, then you say your name. In my case, it would be Torres. So it'll be Me llamo Torres. All right, so we got the recap round. We're going to do the recap for all the words we learned in Spanish today. All right, so the first word we got is hola, which means hello in Spanish. Pronounced hola. Adios, which means bye in Spanish. Pronounced adios. Or another way to say bye is ciao. Pronounced ciao, like food. And it means goodbye. Buenos dias, good morning. Pronounced buenos dias. Buenos dias. Buenos dias, good morning. Buenas tardes, pronounced buenas tardes. Buenas tardes, which means good afternoon. Buenas noches. Buenas noches, pronounced buenas noches, which means good night. Alright, so now we got the recap section for the dialogue. And we're going to do it real quick as we can. Alright, so here we go. We got ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? Which means, how are you? To a friend in Spanish. ¿Cómo está usted? ¿Cómo estás usted? Which means, how are you? To a respected person or someone new. ¿Cómo está usted? ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas? Which means, what is your name in Spanish? Me llamo. Then say your name. Me llamo. Which means my name is in Spanish. So you say me llamo, then say your name. And that is it. We are all done for our first lesson. Thank you so much for sticking around. Thank you so much for learning with me today. Thank you so much for taking this journey, this next step, to educate yourself in another language and to open your mind to a lot of new things. Don't forget to smash the like button. Leave a few comments if you're having questions about anything, how to pronounce anything, how to say anything, what you should do with your mouth, your tongue, your lips, everything, because it actually helps when you pronounce some of these words, if you think about some of these things when you do it. So just ask questions, don't be afraid to, and join me next time for lesson number 2. And thank you so much for watching, and thank you for taking this journey in this next step in your life.